I talk to a lot of people who tell me that they connect with me because they don't have anyone in their life that they can confide in about their doubt of the church. Let me tell you a little story. One of my really close childhood friends growing up Mormon, she was the bishop's daughter. So like the bishop's family is like the poster family for the ward. So like they do everything right, right? And when I left the church and kind of like as we grew up, we lost contact. And I always kind of thought it had something to do with me leaving the church. Fast forward like maybe 10 years, we eventually reconnected just to find out that her mom had left her dad because her mom, the bishop's wife, left the church. So her mom left the dad, and she herself was starting to question the Mormon church. And she was like saying like, yeah, I kind of want to leave, but now I'm scared because like my dad, I don't want to upset him, and like a bunch of my family, like, but I haven't told anybody this because I don't have anyone that I'm scared what people will say. On my Mormon mission, one of my favorite companions on my mission reached out to me like maybe a few years after the mission, was like, hey, like just checking in. And then come to find out, she also left the church. She was like, yeah, I left. And she was like, oh, so-and-so also left, and so-and-so also left from our mission. And I was like, so this is all to say the church does not want you guys sharing your doubts about the church. They would prefer you to suffer in silence until eventually you're like, okay, never mind, I'll just stay. When I just feel like we need to be open with our doubts, because you never know, someone you may think is like super faithful, super into the church, you never know, they might also be doubting. So there's a lot of power in sharing your voice, and the church does not want you to share your voice. I'm at a point in my life personally where like, if there's going to be someone who I knew and loved in the church that's going to look at me differently or judge me for not being part of the church anymore, their opinion doesn't matter. They would rather me suffer in a church I hated. They don't deserve me making decisions for their benefit. Period.